Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 133 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. Glad to have you here. And we said the last time we were doing panels that we were trying some new technology to make it faster, and it ended up breaking things and making it slower. Well, this week I have good news. This time when we did the panels, the new tech did work, and that means we'll be able to make it faster. So this time was about a similar time in between the two panel runs, but the next one should be faster. And I would say before it was like a 3 to 5 week wait. Now it's probably going to be about half that, more like a 2 to 3 week wait. If your shed happened to get here for a panel run like the same day that we're starting the panel run, then it could maybe be a touch over 3 weeks. But for the majority of people, it'll be like a 2 to 3 week wait. So we're really happy about that. It's been a lot of work, a lot of trial and error, a lot of breaking things and then fixing them again. But I'm almost there. I have been doing crazy hours the last few days, rewriting things to work, everything to work smoothly. And I'm almost there. I've been going alphabetically and I'm at Ultramel, so I'm almost to the end. But yeah, so excited about that. We also got a huge dump of new data that I'm analyzing, especially once I'm done with the optimizing this new tech for the panels. Be analyzing a whole bunch of new tests, and we'll talk a little bit about one of those later on with we've got AG here from Coil Snakes, and so got some really cool animals that we're going to show off and talk about. But yeah, as far as panel or updates in general, the panels we're recording on Monday, so by Tuesday night when you're watching this, the panel results probably already came out, should have come out already either sometime today or Tuesday. So by Tuesday night should be there. And as far as I know, we should have fast tests going out every day. Last week we lost a day because of Allie not feeling well, but I think she's back good to go again. So should have fast tests and sex determination going out like normal. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for me. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey Ben, I'm doing great. I didn't realize that some stuff had gotten broken.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, yay.
Make things better and faster. You almost always have to break stuff first. So
that's fair. Growing pains.
But it's finally, like I said, it's almost totally fixed now. So
fair enough. Maybe send some coffee, like send a sack of coffee in with your sheds when you're sending it to Ben. I think this man needs it.
Hopefully not too many more days of that. And if you hear a dog being crazy in the background, it's just a puppy. I promise we're not torturing him. He's just really loud and
I love him. What was his name again?
That's Vincent, after the dog in Lost.
Oh, Vincent. He's a good dog. I met him. I like him. Thor's a good boy too, but Thor does not know what to do with puppies, and I think it's really funny.
Yeah, he's scared of everything. Even if it's a fourth his size, he's still scared of it. But
Thor, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's okay, buddy.
His whole goal in life is to never let you down.
Oh.
That's all he cares about, is not letting you down. And then Vincent, his goal in life is to try everything he can get away with trying. They're very different dogs.
I love them. They're good boys. All right. So speaking of panels, we do have our panel, or at least the biggest one, is now 49 mutations. It's including Butter, Huffman, Noco Special, and I believe Lace. I can't see the bottom of the screen because Potato is here to.
And now that we have this new technology for panels, we'll be able to add the other ones faster. So we'll have to do a couple runs where it's working well, but after that, anything we have a test for, when it gets added to Clutch and Morph Market, we should automatically be able to add it to the panel, or maybe you just wait one run and it should be on there. So that'll be smoother now too.
Awesome. My tater. Listen, I know you're upset with this, but if you didn't want to be held like a little baby, then why are you little baby sized? Did you ever think about that? I bet you didn't even think about that, did you? No? Is your foot stuck? Is your foot stuck on my shirt? I love cats. Anyway. So continuing, we do have Clutch and Morph Market 15% off discount that you get automatically when you're coming back now, Potato. Okay. That you get automatically at checkout. So you're not going to see it while you're placing the order, but as soon as you go to checkout, then it'll be applied. So take advantage of that. Morph Market and Clutch are awesome for hooking you guys up with
And
that.
I think Clutch now even has a AG will be able to tell us when he pops on, but I think that they have that automatically in now. So I think you see that 15% off. Whereas with Morph Market, you'll get what you're ordering, and then when you go to order, it'll show you that discounted price. So.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. And then, of course, on our own website, we do have the All Recessives panel available. So if you want the All Recessives panel, go to the RGI website. It's not on Morph Market or Clutch. I don't know if it will be, but for now, it's just on our website.
It's something difficult for them to code. So as soon as they can get that in, they'll add them. But we'll see. That's another thing. AG is trying to help us beg Clutch to add panels. So we'll talk about that with AG.
We're all peer pressuring Justin. It's fine.
But yeah, both Clutch and Morph Market since the very beginning, when I was just a crazy scientist driving down to Georgia and Sean showing up in Texas to John back then, the owner of Morph Market, they've believed in us and supported us. And I know that some things take a lot of time and money to get on there. So that's part of why we wanted to have it on our own website. That way it's available for the people that want it. But as soon as they can, they'll add them for sure. And just nothing but thanks to both Clutch and Morph Market for all that support all this time.
Aw, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and pop our guest on here. We have AG of Coil Snakes joining us today. Hi, caught you mid-sip.
How you guys doing? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Always good having you on.
Thank you.
So,
and I made the mistake of asking too many questions before we started recording. And AG had all kinds of awesome stuff. So those of you that didn't see when he came on before, we've got another episode. Kayla can link it so you can check out the first episode.
Pop up right here.
And so yeah, AG is, at that point was kind of a new ball python purchaser, keeper, and getting a little bit of experience breeding. And a big thing we wanted to do today was kind of catch up on what's happened since then, and then also he got some interesting panel results on this panel run that I'm analyzing right now. So we'll talk about that and a couple other cool animals he's got. But yeah, AG, you want to fill us in on how it's gone since the last time we talked?
Yeah, I'm a professional ball python buyer.
Awesome.
I do. I buy ball pythons and eventually I'll breed them. But for the last year and a half, I've just been buying. So I started off as just a collector. You know, when bought my very first snake, just a pet, was a spider like most people, you know, beautiful looking animal, no wobble in it, nothing like that. Yeah. And then I seen another one I wanted. And then eventually I got to the point where the pet store just didn't have the stuff I was seeing online, like in like a Google search. So I went to the pet store and asked them, and they said, you got to go to a breeder to find like the dreamsicles and like, you know, the really cool looking animals. So eventually found Morph Market and just went on a buying spree, you know, bought over 100 animals, and some were expensive, some were cheap. I just bought 100% just what I like to look at. No intention to ever breed them. So the good thing about doing that is I got to see everything from a buyer's, you know, experience, and, you know, how people were good. Some people were bad. A lot of people were guessing. Almost half the people that I bought from, but it turns out, guessed on their genetics. And to be fair, I always say, you know, assuming positive intent, I assume that they, you know, but they seem to always guess in their favor and never like, hey, this is head puzzle, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to charge you for head puzzle. Of course, they're going to charge you, and it turned out to not be head puzzle. By the way, I think like the POS head thing, 50%, 66%, is the biggest scam in the world. It's like crypto. It's the biggest scam in the world. Test it, be sure. Why would you not want that extra money? You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's lace snakes that I bought that were, you know, I've bred this a bunch. I know what lace looks like. This is definitely lace. It turned out to not be lace.
Dang.
There was a lot of that stuff. So I think out of 100 animals, 40 of them had a major missing, you know, gene. Don't even get me started on how much scrambler I bought that just turned out to be nothing, you know. Now there's no test. There wasn't a test, but other guys looked at it and they're like, whatever people think Scrambler is, whatever that stuff that they were selling, it wasn't the same thing.
Oh, wow.
So because of that, as soon as I found shed testing, you know, to be able to shed test, I was like, I'm going to definitely do that. And it turns out all the people that were online, there was a lot of guys online that were saying, I've been doing this 20 years, bro. I don't need to shed test. I know with my eyes. And then I'd message them in the comments, be like, hey, you sold me a snake that was mis-ID'd. You know what I mean? So
But they would,
whenever you think you know a lot about something and you're super confident, those are the guys that turned out, you know, you always want to be a student. I'm a lifelong artist doing jiu-jitsu. So like we're always students. It doesn't matter what belt you are. You know, there's an instructor, Jean-Jacques Machado, who's a coral belt. He's the guy that Joe Rogan got his black belt from, Eddie Bravo, all those guys.
Oh, wow.
My old coach. So that guy's like 65 years old. His family founded jiu-jitsu, the Machados and the Gracies. Anyways, he's 65. He's a coral belt. Most people don't even know what that is. He thinks of himself as a student. I'm always learning. So
that's how that's
the mindset I always want to be, you know, just as a human, is I'm always learning. And when you're super confident, you wind up seeing things that might not be there, or not realizing maybe this morph and this morph together have this effect that's tricking you to think it might look a certain way. So for me, I test everything, but I'm so crazy. I'll test pieds that are clearly visual pieds because I want the little check mark and clutch to match. So I'm a mixture between really wanting to know, but by doing that too, is once I have that shed test and I could say this animal is clearly hurricane or whatever it is, then I can study that animal and start learning how these two mutations work together. And I know the stock that I'm studying is confirmed. I'm not studying bad information, and thus I'm going to pass that bad information on to the rest of my IDing. I'm able to take something that I know is valid, and then I could start as my base. So I'm brand new. I've only been breeding since January is when January this year, I decided I wanted to breed.
Yeah.
So I took all my old animals, got rid of all of them, except maybe a handful that I kept as pets. And maybe one or two that turned out to be like I could do a little something with. And I just went on and just started buying the things that I liked, the things that I thought, you know, are going to be great projects for the future, and animals that I really like envision in my mind might look really cool. So I started buying all the ingredients, and I can tell you all that I learned from those first, 150 animals. There was a lot of guys that I didn't go back to and buy because of the interaction, whether bad customer service, slow communication, mis-IDing.
Yeah.
And those guys, I guarantee, would probably say, the market's soft, nobody's buying, I can't sell this animal, I can't get the value for it. Well, I could go into your DMs and spend $5 grand, 10 grand, 40 grand if I wanted to, if you had the animal that I want, but you don't test it, so I don't trust you. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to go buy from somebody else. So shed testing helps everything. You know what I mean? It's going to make sure that your time, imagine if I spent 3 years growing something up and breeding it and it wasn't what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
My time's super, super precious. You know what I mean? Like time is more important than money to me. So wasting my time doing stuff like that, I breed snakes on the side from my primary business because with the snakes, there's a lot of downtime, tons of downtime. But imagine like bottling wine. So you build this beautiful winery, you get all these nice grapes, but those grapes weren't the grapes you thought they were. And you bottle them and you mash them and you do all that stuff. You put them in the barrel, you sit them on the shelf for years. When you finally open it, cork it, whatever the term is, you're like, oh dude, this is what I thought it was. That's insane. It's insane that you wouldn't protect your business by being positive as to what you have. You know what I mean? And there's guys that have complained that shed testing isn't accurate. And I'll tell them, well, shed testing is way more accurate than whatever you were doing by far.
Yeah.
And the few times where we've had questions, we've been able to talk and clearly look at the animal, look at the test, go into the test a little deeper and make a logical determination way at a higher level than we would by just kind of staring at an animal blankly and tossing it in a bag and shipping it. So I'm a huge proponent of shed testing. I think it's vital. And from the breeding side of things, it's up my collection a lot. So there's some animals that we got that tested positive for het monsoon, which is gigantic, because now, so I got 4. One of them's a quad het. It's a quad het hypo DG monsoon clown. There's a spot nose quad het hypo DG monsoon clown. There's 2 spot nose clown triple het hypo DG monsoons. They're all about a year old. One of them's like 1,500 grams. She's huge for being a year old. But that took a cool project I was in and put us like towards the top of that project, just simply because now we have all the key ingredients into the animal.
Yeah.
You know, or we might have bred them later on and be like, dude, where the heck did this monsoon come from?
Yeah.
Well, now with clutch, I could just track back exactly. I don't have little post-its on my tub like I've seen some people do, or a Rolodex. I could go back in clutch and see exactly who bred to what, and know exactly, be like, hey, bro, check your snake. It might be het monsoon, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so much better. I couldn't imagine doing this in the old days. I don't know how the guys did.
It was a lot harder. I definitely had that wine experience you were explaining. I had the opposite too. I had sometimes where I knew they were posets and I proved them out, and that was super fun. Mm-hmm. But I had more of the experiences where they're posets and they don't prove out, or even like a multi-gene clown that's either yellow belly or gravel. And then of course, in my luck, it ended up being yellow belly, and things like that we had to struggle with. You came in recent enough that you've had that option, especially now that you're deciding to be a breeder and not just a collector. Like, you've got that tool right there in your hand as you get going. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I look at the old days. I'm talking about like just a few years ago, before shed testing was around. Yeah. Like, I commend those guys. I can't believe they did that. I look at them as like the guys who sailed across the ocean before GPS. Yeah. Like, gosh, that's crazy. You guys are gangsters to do that. I want GPS to go across. I want it, much easier, because I want to focus specifically on hitting the animals. And also, the breeding side of ball pythons, like, it's what we do with the breeding side. It's not hard. You pick up a snake and you move it to another tub. You take it out a day or two later. Like, the mechanics of it are super easy. Mm-hmm. It's the logistics and the operation and the strategy is the part that fascinates me. And like, you can't move your pieces on the puzzle if you don't know what pieces you have. So it's so crucial that I know every single piece that I have. And then just yesterday, you messaged me and said that one of the snakes that we were considering getting rid of is, what was it? Or it was a homozygous for Cryptic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that the first animal?
Yeah. You want to pop that up?
Yeah.
And she said she's a 10 egg layer.
Yeah. 10 egg.
And so that means any babies from her, now you can mark them in clutch as being het cryptic. That they should all be het for Cryptic.
All right.
Now, that was sold to me as just a yellow belly DG. And I bought that snake when I was just a collector. So I liked the way she looked, and not having the experience that a lot of guys might look at this and be like, oh, clearly I can see these characteristics. I don't have that. So shed testing not only helped me, but now I can look at this and tell exactly what that animal should look like. So in the future, when I see one, I can say, hey, that's Cryptic, or, this is what DG and yellow belly and Cryptic look together. So I think for me, that's super, super important.
Yeah.
Yep. And I sent these pictures to a couple other friends. I know you said you had some people look at it. And they said that the body pattern definitely looks Cryptic. The thing that's interesting about this girl specifically is her eye stripes. Mm-hmm. So those eye stripes are usually really wide in the back and then go straight forward. Hers kind of has like a little dip, like a little pinch in the middle.
Yeah, right there.
That's kind of unique for being homozygous for Cryptic. That's a little different, but she's testing Cryptic, and the majority of her looks Cryptic. That's just kind of interesting that she has that little pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's such little nuances with this. It's so fascinating. But she lays 10 eggs, so we can do some cool things with her now. We can keep her in our collection. And again, she's one of those snakes that's really, really mean, which I like.
I like the mean ones too. Like, when you tame them down, it's that much more rewarding. But even when they're spicy, I like them.
Yeah, she never gets it. Her and Mrs. Wonderful. We have a het clown we kept as a pet named Mrs. Wonderful. She's a complete psychopath. We've had, breeders like Miguel and guys that are really experienced come over and they're like, I don't know what species that animal is because it's a psychopath. Like she'll launch her whole body out of the tub right at your face. And like I was saying, she's almost bit me in the eye 4 times because she launches out of the tub. And like, she doesn't understand balling up at all. You can't get her to ball up. She goes long and stiff and wiggles. And
really,
yeah, she's crazy. And she'll start grabbing stuff on the shelves around you and knocking everything over. I try holding her like a baby and loving her, and she doesn't want any part of that.
Oh my goodness. I love
this. The more you hold her, the worse she gets too. So like
really?
Normally, like you hold them and they start to calm down, not her. She progressively gets worse. And the more often you hold her, the crazier she's going to be. Well, because of that, I got to keep her because that's awesome. And 2 is if I was to actually sell her, let's say somebody picked, because what's a het clown? $75 online if you can even sell her. She's like 10 years old. She has a giant head. Someone might get her as a pet for a kid. The kid's going to get bit 100 times and then they're going to kill it. So it's going to stay with me where she's going to live forever. She's going to have a good life.
And if she's angry and mean, she's going to live forever.
Yeah. But now, so I wasn't planning on breeding her because there's, what can you do with a het clown? But now with this new snake I picked up from my good buddy Steve at Las Vegas Ball Pythons, I can actually breed this snake that's super heavy on codoms and potentially hit something cool with her or duplicate it's a crazy odds, but duplicate the male in a female form. And then, she's also a 10 egg layer too.
So that's that second picture, Kayla. That crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Here we go. This guy.
Yeah. So this is I in no way could ID anything in this snake. My buddy Steve at Las Vegas Ball Pythons, he crushed it with this snake. So really hard to ID a snake with this many genes. But I was just on a Zoom with Justin, and
I'm going to throw out here really quick, AG. Right. This is your chance to pause the video, and we want you to write down what you think is in this animal. Do that before you see the next part where we're going to talk about it and give away what other people are guessing. But if you pause it here and make some guesses, let us know in the comments how close you got to our guesses and people AG's talked to. And then in a later episode, we'll give the final results from the testing too. But with that, you guys already paused it, made your guesses. Now we'll get it back to AG.
Yes.
So the first theoretical IDing was a fire, orange dream, hurricane Pompeii. Justin agrees with all of that except the fire. So orange.
Go one more, Kayla.
What's that? Yeah.
Go one more, then you'll have that. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So Justin looking at it says he sees everything except the fire. And obviously when you see a video, it might be different than in person, right? So orange dream, hurricane Pompeii, male, beautiful, beautiful animal. I mean, Steve at Las Vegas Ball Pythons, he's kind of like my mentor. So he taught me all about finding quality. It's the most important thing.
Yes.
Breeding for years and years and years, and you get a gene that's weak and it doesn't have the effect you want. Like, how heartbreaking would it be to not get the expression you want after all that time? So this is the perfect example of a multi-gene snake with really good ingredients all the way around. Now, obviously, we're going to shed test it because we want to know for sure what it is. But I mean, I can tell you it's a snake and it's orange. That's about my level of IDing. Everybody else, who's been doing this a long time, agrees with the theoretical ID.
And I think probably to me, and I already talked about this in messaging with AG, but the most surprising thing to me is that there's no pied or het pied. There's no champagne. There's nothing that I'm used to seeing pull that wide up. But, obviously some of the people you've been talking to have done combos similar to this where they've seen that, but just where it's pulling that wide up, and in the video, it kind of shows the belly. I mean, that looks like a pied, but as far as we know, there's no pied. We'll test just to make sure, but as far as from the pairing, there's nothing, right?
Yeah, I believe it was the mom. The mom's been full panel tested already, and there was no pied. So we actually pulled the records up for that. So Steve messaged me when he cut the egg, and we just seen a little bit of the side, and I was like, bro, how's that pied? And he's like, we were blown, stunned as to what we were looking at. And then when it came out, it made a little bit more sense, but yeah, there's no pie in the pairing, and the snake's not pied at all, which is wild.
That's cool.
So much white on the belly, and like even toward the tail, like it looks almost like the little like ringer you get of pie on pied sometimes. Like it's almost like he has the start of that, but dang, like that much white on the belly, that much high contrast orange and yellow and black, and just he's gorgeous.
You're just gonna have to make sure that mean het clown girl doesn't kill him.
Honestly.
So I could take a snake like that. I could breed it to my Orange Dream, Hurricane, Clown stuff. I could breed it to that het clown, if we wanted to. So there's so many possibilities with a snake this loaded on that end with codoms. I'm really excited. And then potentially too, I have a pastel hypo DG clown pied, all visual.
Wow.
So potentially in the future, I could breed him to her, pray to the odds gods we missed the pastel, and then just see what happens.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Please, odds gods.
The odds gods.
That could be
I feel like pastel would take away from us.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of pastel and clown. So for me, the head to the tail, I want pattern going across it. I know everyone, it's like art. Everyone has their own thing. The first thing I look at on a snake is the head. If the head has like that pastel white head, or there's no eye stripes or no head stamp, immediately I give it an F. I don't want it. I don't even want it for free. Just for me. Other people love it.
Yeah, like a super vanilla combo.
But that bald head where you see like the bulges sticking out on a ball python, I think they're so ugly. But with eye stripes, they're beautiful. Head stamp, they're beautiful. But as soon as you take all that pattern away, I don't want anything to do with that. So that's why I don't like pastel, because I have clown in everything.
That's fair. Oh yeah.
It's almost like painting a car. If you own a car, you put a beautiful paint job on it and you don't paint the hood. Like some guys like the hood with the cherry paint. I don't like that. I want from bumper to bumper. I want it to match. I want it to look beautiful. And that's how I am with my snakes.
Fair enough. Man.
Well, this one is awesome. That's for sure.
And then there's this thing right here.
So this thing has raised so many questions because we've thought this thing was a bunch of different things. So Justin says definitely test it for Mandarin. So the mom goes back to the lineage of the guy who discovered Mandarin, or I don't know. I wasn't around back then. I think the guy's name is Russ. Maybe I could be saying that wrong, so forgive me if I am. And I also suck with names, but so we've already done full panels on him. We've tested him multiple times. So he's a vanilla hypo clown, double head DG pied, guaranteed, shed tested. So's his brother and his sister, and they look totally different. They all look like each other except for him. He's the one anomaly.
Weird. How did the siblings look different?
They're not like that bright orange. They're like glowing orange. They look really good, but they don't have this. So he almost looks radioactive. So we nicknamed him Boris after like Chernobyl. So we all call him Boris.
I love that.
Radioactive, and then we joke around like the new uranium gene or whatever it is. But
yeah,
I mean, Mandarin's a damn good guess that Justin gave us, because the mom comes from that same guy who produced it. So if the mom has something, the mom's a hypo clown pied, and she looks different too. So it doesn't look super crazy, but she's definitely more orange and doesn't have Orange Dream or anything like that. Again, she's been full panel tested multiple times. Again, the possibility, if he is a Mandarin, it's gigantic for our collection. If he's not, then it just keeps raising more questions that maybe it's something new, maybe it's an anomaly, maybe he's a one-off. So anything he breeds, we have, and he's our primary breeder. So at 500 grams, like he's trying to get out of the tub. So he's bigger now, but like he breeds and he eats the same day. So he's a star.
Attaboy.
The star male.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you want in a breeder male. He doesn't go off of food. He locks like immediately. You can throw him in there. He'll be locked in like 15, 20 minutes, so far.
Attaboy.
But anyways, because of the way he looks, it could be an anomaly. It could be nothing.
Yeah.
But because we don't know, we got to hold everything back potentially to see, if we're able to duplicate how he looks.
Yeah.
And I would like to breed him back to mom one day too, and see like what happens with that.
Yeah.
Because his dad's not in question. His dad's bred, 40, 50 times, some crazy number. Dad's old, been around. And nothing crazy has happened. The mom, it was the first pairing with the mom. So it has to be coming from the mom.
Very cool.
This photo here is not edited at all. This is stock. He changes throughout the day. Sometimes he's a little bit more purple. Sometimes he's more orange. And in person, he's crazy looking.
Oh, that's awesome.
We did just get our first batch of Mandarin data recently, and I was telling you before we got on. We're playing with that, so hopefully we'll have that test before too long. We've got some hits to chase. We might get lucky and have it real fast, or it could take years like Monsoon did.
Right.
But yeah, oh my God, we're playing with it. I know that's a test that'll help a lot of people. So
yes,
and if it turns out to not be Mandarin, one more thing we've eliminated.
Exactly.
If it does turn out to be Mandarin, I mean, does anybody have vanilla, hypo clown, double head Mandarin stuff? I don't know. I don't know. But what does that do to our overall project? If he is? The only way we know is shed test or wait years and years and years, and you still might not know if that is or not. So that's why shed testing is so important.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great tool to have, that's for sure. I used it immediately when we started being able to do it. It's getting close to being 4 years ago now, 3.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had just produced a bunch of clowns that were posset pied and a bunch of pieds that were posset clown, and so I was able to test my babies and hold back a male for each and move forward, and been able to prove them both out, through breeding too, that the test was right. So I used it immediately once I had access to it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to bring up real quick. So on our Instagram, our primary business, we make really high-end flip-flops with ethically sourced exotic leathers. Because of that, we use the CITES tags, all that same stuff. We get attacked by these animal activist groups. Our Instagrams go down, our Instagrams come back because of our, we know some big wigs at Meta that bring it back. We have 2 Coil accounts. They start attacking those just.
Oh, no.
So the main one's down right now. Our backup's up. They'll take the backup. So we're all constantly switching back and forth. So if you follow us on Instagram and you notice the main account's down, we didn't block you. It's just that account goes down, it comes back, the other one's in. So it's constantly musical chairs. So we also have a Twitter too, which is crazy. If you want to see crazy snakes, Twitter is like all the Asian market. So like everyone on Twitter is all the Asian market. There's some crazy stuff that they're hitting over there that I never personally see on Instagram. My whole entire feed on X is just, it's all in Japanese and Korean and stuff.
It's cool snakes.
Yeah, but if you guys want to see it shows the mutations, yeah. And then
awesome.
You could also use the Japanese and the Korean hashtags, click on those and see what those guys are hitting over there.
Ooh,
for whatever reason, it doesn't pop unless you follow them specifically. At least for me, it doesn't suggest their stuff to us in the United States just because they're different countries. And because the languages are different, it usually doesn't. So you're able to see really cool snakes on X if you go over there and set up an account. And on X, you can post whatever you want. Yeah, you can post whatever you want.
Yeah, I imagine there's probably a decent, decent following of the Asian market and languages over on Instagram too, probably.
Yeah,
But
I just can't. I have trouble finding them. Like I'll follow some of them. What I do is I go to Canova, see who's following him, and look at those guys. But
oh,
on
that's smart.
X, it's majority of Korean and Japanese. It seems like. So there's a
Okay,
whole
cool.
segment of cool snakes you get to see that normally we might not see in our algorithm.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
Cool
to know.
beans. Well, thanks so much for joining us today,
Yeah,
AG.
thanks for
That
having
was fun. Yeah. And shoot. So where can people find you? You said Instagram, and it's
Yeah,
you said what
Instagram
are the two accounts?
or X. So it's Coil with a K _ snakes, or just Coil Snakes, no underscore. One of those. If you just
Perfect.
Google Coil, you'll find it.
All
And
right, sounds good.
just for the people that didn't watch the previous episode, I want you to just give a short list of some of the heavy hitters that have your flip flops.
Oh yeah.
Geez, Donald Trump, the president of El Salvador, Joe Rogan, Dana White, Ben Askren. I mean, you name it, everybody has them.
Good shoes.
We have stuff like this here.
Oh, I see.
Nice.
Now, no, not everyone's a Trump fan. I am, but it's cool to have a letter from the president or a picture from the president on your desk. You know, whoever the president is.
Not everybody can say that.
That's always cool to have. You know, it's especially when all we're just doing is just trying to make good stuff. You know, and really with business, if I could give a quick business spiel. The one thing I think we're lacking in the ball python, not everybody, but a lot of guys, is the business side of things. You know, the snakes are the easy part, but how do you optimize everything that you're doing? And that's why shed testing is so critical to that. But the optimization, for example, if you go to a show, are you just trying to sell one snake to one guy, or are you there capturing every single person's email so that you can go back and retarget them, especially now when the economy's soft or the market's soft? Now's where you get to rise to the top. Because we hold world records over Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Christian Dior, like all those major brands. Those are multi-billion-dollar companies. We hold world records over them simply because we're highly focused on exactly what we do. We're not trying to sell something to everybody. We're focused on our product and making the best products in the world. And that translates over to snakes. So if you I hear stories about during COVID, didn't matter what you sold, you put it online, it sold right away, right? So people probably got in the bad habit of I'll just post a picture of this. You having the best animals in the world, to me, is worth nothing. That's the baseline, right? Making the best. If you sell the best steaks, if you sell the best flip-flops, if you sell the best handbags, all of that stuff, the baseline is worth nothing. That's just the price of admission to get onto the field. Now it's all the above and beyond things that you do that make it better. Do your photos look good? Do you have good descriptions? Do you have pictures of the mom and the dad, the pairing, maybe the lineage on where mom came from and where dad came from? That's all stuff someone's going to ask you potentially. So when I go to your site, your Instagram, your website, if you have one, or Morph Market, I can get all of my questions answered by just looking. I don't need to message you for anything. So that frees up your time. So then when I go to message you, I'm only going to ask you one thing. Send me a link. I want to buy it. You know,
Yeah.
But if you have a bad picture, and how many snakes are online right now? 1 million, right? It might as well be.
So many.
How many auctions? 100,000 auctions are going on. These iPhones are easy to use. Everybody has one. They're in their pockets. Spend a few minutes, master it, because the breeding the snakes isn't the part you need to master. That's already the baseline. Now you just simply need to learn how to take a good picture, how to do a good description. Go to if you're vending, capture every single person's email, because now that you're back at home, you can send them links and say, hey, I just hatched this and that. If you sold one more snake, is it worth it? Absolutely. If you sold 50 more snakes, is it worth it? Absolutely. So the little tiny nuances, set up a website. It's not hard. Any of the stuff nowadays isn't hard. It's really easy. And you can't use the I'm not tech savvy nonsense, right? Phones have been around since the 1800s. Computers were invented in the 30s. All of this stuff existed before you were on this planet. So it's not something that just like, we're not telling you how to figure out like a hologram or some crazy brand new technology or to fix your Tesla, like some crazy cutting edge thing. It's just basic electronics. But those little things above and beyond make a huge difference. And for me, if I see you're selling something and it doesn't have the test results, or you don't say that it's been tested, I'm probably not interested. I'm not interested because I don't want to waste my time or my money. And then what happens is I send you the money, you send me the snake, I test it, it's missing something. Now I either got to waste the time to send it back, or you're going to give me some BS store credit. I'll have a snake I don't want. The whole thing just, all it does is waste everybody's time if you don't shed test. So it's so critical. And these little business things, if you need a business advice, message me. I'm really good at business. Just that optimization piece. And the companies that are good at optimizing are the ones that are going to succeed. I don't care how, I kind of want the market to crash because we're going to be totally fine. I'll be able to buy snakes. And now I don't want it to crash because I don't want other people to hurt. But in a business, if you have a ship that could go through a storm, guess what? Every ship should be able to go through a storm. You build a ship that can't go through a storm, you need to stay in the port, right? Or stay in safe waters. You build a strong business, it can go through a hurricane, it doesn't matter. And that's ultimately what you want to do. It doesn't matter what the market does. I don't need to sell anything. I'll keep them on the shelves for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years till the market comes back. And then guess what? I'll have the gnarliest collection in existence, or whatever that might look like, right? So it's these little pieces that make a huge difference. And it all starts with knowing exactly what's in your collection.
All right.
For sure.
Good stuff. Well, thanks so much, AG. And thanks everybody for tuning in today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely, let us know in the comments if you guess the same as what AG and Justin are thinking that one snake is. And yeah, y'all got anything else before we call it a day?
I would just throw in also, for any of you that do message AG, he does actually personally answer all of his messages. He told me offline once, it's like sometimes thousands a day.
So I think the most we ever did on our main account was 7,000 messages, like after Rogan did a shout outs. And guess what? Every single one of them got answered. And how many DMs? So ask yourself this, how many DMs are you getting? 10, 12, 6? Those people are messaging you to buy stuff from you or to ask questions. Respond to them instantly or as soon as possible. There's been countless snakes that I ended up not buying from people. I was on the crazy buying spree, spending like 30 grand a night, at a night, just buying stuff. And the guy got back to me like 3 days later. I was like, I didn't even remember what I wanted from you. You know what I mean? If you were there, I probably would have bought 6, maybe 10 snakes from you just because I was on a buying spree, I got a buddy that was like, oh, ball pythons are cool. He hit up Justin and bought the Exantic DG Clown for 30 grand, like his first snake. And then he asked Justin, think about that, $30,000 for his first snake. And he asked Justin, what kind of enclosure should I keep this thing in? What temperature? Like, he had no idea. I wanted messaging him and was like, hey, bro, go back and tell Justin if you could flip it for some females instead. And, Justin was really cool about that. But just imagine if that was your snake, you just have some random guy on his very first purchase. He's going to drop 30 G's on a snake because he liked the way he looked just as a pet. So those guys are out there, set yourself up for success by having your stuff set up in a way, the guys like that, if they're ready to spend big money, make it easy for them. Don't make it hard for your customers to spend money.
Yeah. Amen to that.
All right. Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you. Well, we'll call it a wrap. Bye, everybody. And outro.